Russel Miller. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Enzene. I started my career many moons ago as a scientist working in research and development. I transitioned into business development while I was at Catalent. I spent a little over 16 years at Catalent working on multiple different projects for clients from preclinical all the way through commercial, large and small molecule. And so I've been in the CDMO industry for over 20 plus years and really enjoy the opportunity to work with clients and support them. And part of the reason why I joined Enzene was the vision around innovation that we hold here within our organization, and then our fully connected continuous manufacturing technology, which has the opportunity to really revolutionize biologics manufacturing. Yeah, I mean, that's a really complex question, and there's so many facets to it. So I'll just try to focus in on the things I think that might be relevant to listeners or folks that are watching this. But what is really interesting is 24 months ago, the topic of the day was biosecure, and how is that going to impact and how is that going to change buying behaviors? And really, the message that we were seeing, or the message that we shared at that time, was the Biosecure Act just opened up dialogue in areas that we might not have had previously. But when you look at what's going on today with the immediacy of the impact of things like tariffs have, it is really accelerating conversations that would have never taken place. In the last 3 to 4 weeks, we've probably had a half a dozen discussions around commercial manufacturing and tech transfer for the US facility, to understand how we might be able to help folks that are trying to still create solutions for their patient population and also maintain affordability. And so, in this current instance of geopolitical chaos, it has created a lot more interest in how folks can access drug substance manufacturing in the US. And I would say, when you're looking at that, you either have traditional routes that you can go, or you can look at innovative technologies. And at the first blush, a lot of these clients, a lot of these potential folks, they're really looking just for a tech transfer. They want to get that product into a place where then they can still maintain supply chain and access for patients without having to add more risk than the risk of doing a tech transfer. But on the other hand, as these products are moving and you're looking at a broader picture of global economics, there are multiple countries around the world where folks that are focused on patient affordability and patient access have policy in place where they want to see that translated into the amount a patient pays for a given therapy. And when you have an innovative technology like Enzene X, which allows you to increase productivity up to 10 times, reduces that cost of goods up to 50%. We've demonstrated the ability to deliver and manufacture at the Enzene X 2.0 scale, which results in material that can be produced at $40 per gram. That gives a really compelling case for companies to take a look at that innovative technology and understand how do they integrate that into their development programs and even do life cycle management. And if I would just take it one step further, when people look at innovative technologies, there's a lot of excitement, but we are in a heavily regulated environment, and that is a risk. And so in our strategic plan, we have the design matrix where we are going to integrate all the elements that the FDA would like to see in a continuous process, so that the Enzene X platform is ready to be approved by the FDA. And we ourselves are aiming to have the first regulatorily approved biologic product manufactured on the Enzene platform. We want to create a path that de-risks that paradigm so people can look at the technology, not only in a development or a lifecycle management point of view, but from a point of view that it's de-risked on a regulatory basis. And so it makes the technology even that more accessible than it already is. I think that they're massively important because in the CDMO industry, if you dial the clock back 20 years, the conversational points were all about quality, right? Technical expertise, and these things are important, but they are the baseline. If you don't have quality, if you don't have technical expertise, if you don't have the capability, if you don't have the reach, you don't have a seat at the table. So the paradigm has shifted from my point of view that those are established criteria that teams are looking for in their suppliers, or looking for in their suppliers, and so those are for the most part a given. And outside of innovation, the other way you enable success in a CDMO arena is by collaborating effectively with your clients. And those are intangible elements. The project management, how we communicate with folks, and frankly, how we solve problems. Because if development was easy, lots of people would do it, and you would not have challenges with timelines. Everything would fire off on the day it was expected to fire off, at the way it was expected. But we can't forget this is science, and science is about creating hypotheses, testing those hypotheses, and developing products into a robust format that is validatable. And along the way, you're going to have problems. And the way you communicate against those problems, how quickly you communicate, how effectively, how thoroughly, how maturely you communicate those challenges, and you do so from a point of advise and consent. So people come to the CDMO industry because they want teams that have a broad base of experience with a lot of different molecules, and they can take that experience base and they can move it in to help them resolve a challenge they may be seen in their particular development program. And so they want you to come not just with the problem, but they want you to explain the problem and have a solution that they can consider. Now, is it going to be the solution that they take? Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a solution, then you're just like another pair of hands that they've thrown it over the fence, or you've thrown it over the fence, and that's not an engaged process. That's not creating a relationship that people can trust and build on. And trust is important in this process because a lot of times, this might be the only molecule this team has, and everything is riding on it. Not only from that company's point of view, but we work with a lot of teams that are developing specialty therapies in rare diseases that don't have a lot of other solutions. And so, you're working in a space where these patients really need these therapies, and you want to create that trust, that collaboration, these intangible elements of how a relationship works, and be able to demonstrate that. And I think that's one of the reasons why we launched We Are Enzene. You can talk about your quality, you can talk about your technical expertise, and you can talk about your innovation, which we do, and we do very well. But you have to be able to demonstrate that you're the kind of collaborative partner that works collectively to get things done. And if people don't trust that you can deliver, and they don't trust that you can help them be successful, then it doesn't create that collaboration that you want to see. We're in Hall 5, booth A68. And we'd love to have you come visit us. We have a beer and brats event that we're sponsoring with Orientation Marketing, and so we'd love to have you come and share a beer with us and have some wonderful food. What I'm excited about at CPHI is that every year the event becomes more and more engaging, especially in the biologic space. We're excited to show off the Enzene platform. We're looking forward to helping people understand how we're the leading continuously innovative development and manufacturing organization that you want to work with. Innovation is at our core, and now we're incorporating it into who we are as a Sigma organization. And so we're super excited about that. As I mentioned a minute ago, around we are Enzene, helping folks understand those intangibles, those things that go beyond the quality and the technical part, and how we can share with them we're the right kind of collaboration partner that they want to work with. So we're really looking forward to CPHI this year. I mean, every year for us is another opportunity to share who we are and what we do. And we are leading the way in fully connected continuous manufacturing, and we want to share that news with anyone who wants to stop by and have a conversation with us.